Really was. But there you go. There's the start of our garden, our spring garden. Time to go feed the birds. I got a seed in my ear. How does that happen? Goodness gracious. Hey, what's up everybody? This is Brian over here at the Little Orchard Farm. I want to welcome you to today's video. Man, we are out at the cabin and we are working on trim work. All the door casings, we've got the floorboards going up. I've just kind of been pegging away at this stuff. It's a slow grind, but just taking it one piece at a time. Today is President's Day, and for those of you who don't know, President's Day is a free holiday for us. It's where we celebrate presidents. I don't get into a lot of the politics very much on this channel. Well, hardly at all, simply because there's nothing good to talk about when you talk about politics. We can all agree that politics is well, it is. It exists. And I heard a great joke many years ago that I kind of apply to all of politics. You know, pro is the opposite of con. And so what is the opposite of progress? You got it, boys and girls. Anyway, so we don't talk about politics very much. We want to live life to the fullest and be happy and be joyful. And you can't do that when you talk about politics. At least not in today's landscape. Maybe if we ever get back to really solving the issues and working together as one, regardless of what side of the aisle you come down to make the world a better place, but we have veered way too far off course on that. Anyway, so all we're doing today is doing a lot of things. I did want to show you one thing that Karen has done here in the bathroom. As I was, we were working on getting some of this trim work done, some of the baseboard and all that good stuff. Karen actually got in here and painted and distressed this the shiplap. And then here's the mirror that she selected. We've got to hang that mirror. We're just going to hang it up just a little bit. But I thought that is going to look really nice. Isn't that awesome? And so that's one of the really nifty or nice, I think, standout features of our cabin. There are a few of those. We've got the beams, for example. We have a beautiful light, a nice fan light here that really is a standout piece in the cabin. And I think the I think the shiplap, the stress shiplap with the mirror on it is yet just another really wonderful piece that kind of just sets the cabin aside. So, but anyway, that's not what I wanted to show you today. All this is awesome as we continue to kind of wrap up these final pieces. I mean, we are so close. We are so close to putting a bow on this thing. It's not even funny. However, what I did want to share with you today was last week, Karen and I started our seed starts. We actually began planting our seeds, and I want to share with you and show you how we kind of got started with that. And then I will take you a little bit here in the future and let's see how they turn out. Let's take a look at this video. Enjoy. All right, hey everybody, this is Brian and Karen over here at the Little Orchard Farm. We are putting out the really quick little video here to show our seed propagation or our seed germination activity. We had about 25, maybe 30 things that we want to grow in or try to maybe do a little sampling grow in our garden this spring. And so the first thing that we thought we needed to do is to get things germinated. What we did was I took all the seeds. I got a planting calendar for our area. I looked at when the last frost date was supposed to be, which we're looking at around April, somewhere between April 15, 16, 17-ish type of a day. And so I took the things that we will direct seed and things like the beans and things of that nature. We'll hold those off and we'll direct seed those. But there are several things that we can start inside.
I don't think we're going to need quite this many, are we?
Well, it's up to you. We've
That's a
got.
lot to plant in the garden.
I know it. We've got all of your peppers. So you got your all your sweet peppers. You've got your all of your got Brussels sprouts. You got tomatoes, peppers, hot peppers. And then you've got tomatoes, big beef steaks, jalapeno peppers, cherry tomatoes, broccoli. We'll put that over here with the Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts. We need to pick one of those. Cauliflower, the basil, and bell pepper. So you got your peppers. You got a few of the herbs, which other herbs can be direct seeded into the ground. You've got your cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and tomatoes, and then broccoli. So depending on how many you want to plant, but I'm guessing we need to get started by number one, putting these into warm water. Is that right? Filling it. All right. So instead of going the route of purchasing a large sum of composting mix or seed starting mix, this year we're going a little bit simpler. We bought some of these little kits, these little greenhouse kits, and bought several of them. I don't know how much we'll do. That's a great question. But
that's a lot.
72 plants.
Fill up the whole garden.
That's a pretty good start, isn't it? We bought two sizes, so we bought the other size here, which is a little bit larger ones, which they recommend, I guess, for tomato plants, things with larger root sets. And along with this, we also purchased a heat mat. And so what we'll do is we will get these in water, let them swell up. We will plant our seeds, and then we're going to leave them for 3 days covered up, on the heat mat with no sunlight, hopefully. So we'll probably cover this maybe with something to keep the light off of it, and leave it for 3 to 5 days and see if we see some little baby plants popping up. It's our first time to do this. We've had gardens in the past. We've done mostly like peppers and tomatoes, and we've had strawberries. We've done lettuce. We've done a little bit of some stuff, but it was in a more of an urban backyard setting. Nothing quite this grandiose of a scale that we're wanting to be able to put back a lot of food for ourselves and begin doing more of a community build. But it is awesome. So anyway, all right. So why don't we start out? Let's put the let's put this into the warm water. So, and then they also sent with it some plant vitamins for the seeds. So need some down here. Okay. Inch and a half. And it says these should get to be 2.5 inches tall. And these should get to be 1 inch to 1.5 inches tall. I guess that's what it's talking about. Like some of them have exposed, but then some of them may be kind of closed over. So you just want to take and scratch it up, maybe with a toothpick or something like that, I guess. Yeah, these are swelling nicely. See if we can get this stuck in here. All right, and the second one is oregano.
Yes.
It's much better. Those first ones are not good. And then this third one is thyme.
Yes.
There we go, good.
As you put this top on there, it's going to smush those.
Is it?
No, no.
Sweet. And then we'll we got our heat mount from iPower. Just picked that up off of Amazon. And there you have it. It's a 4-foot mat, which is huge. I thought we were going to be doing a few more trays. Didn't know how big this really was. But there you go. There's the start of our garden, our spring garden. How exciting is that? All right, so now what we'll do, we've got these under wraps. We're going to get a little something to cover them over. Here in our little apartment, as we're transitioning, we don't have a lot of space. And so we're going to leave them right here. We're just going to put a little something over them, hook up the hook up the mat right here where we're sitting, and then hopefully in a week, less than a week, 3 to 5, 6 days, we ought to start seeing some germination out of these guys. Once we see the germination pop up, then we will remove the lids, we will turn off the mat, and we will put a light over the top of them. So that's going to be my next small investment at the Home Depot or somewhere. I think you can get a regular shop LED light that I got to do a little research on that. I'm still working it, but I've got a few days. I got a couple of days to try to figure out what we need. But I think we can get a light and put that over the top of them, and then they will continue to grow and get their what do they call that? The leaves, their growth leaves. But essentially, what we don't want to have happen is we don't want them to get leggy. And so not having the right kind of light, or putting it, only giving them a sparse amount of light, or whatever the case might be, creates leggy plants. We want short, healthy, hardy plants. So that's what we're going for. So we've got the Power Girls. We got Powerpuff Girls covering our plants. They are safe and sound. And so there you have it. The start of our 2021 garden. Man, we ain't got a clue what we're doing. I shouldn't say that. We've grown before, just not to this scale. It's going to be a lot of plants, but it's going to be awesome. I did want to share with you one thing before we let you go. A big shout out to our wonderful, beautiful neighbors. They gave me this book, The Holistic Orchard, last year, and it was awesome. And so I've been reading through it, and so when we jump back on the orchard, which will be, I think, coming up this week, we're supposed to be probably seeing some trees hit the road, coming off out of the nursery and heading our way. And so we're going to be jumping back in and getting those in the ground. I'm learning a lot about creating healthy, hardy soil for fruit trees and berries. And so it's been a really cool read. It's really scientific, which I'm a nerd. And so it's been really kind of cool to learn about the bacteria and the fungi, the nematodes and all that stuff that make up wonderfully healthy soil. So I'm really getting into it. I'm geeking out over it. The other book that Karen and I got started with last week in kind of beginning our lasagna garden was Lasagna Gardening by Patricia Lanza. Patricia Lanza. And so we began, if you'll see that coming up, or I guess it'll be, in this video. In the video, we laid down a cardboard layer, which is our carbon layer, which will degrade over time and create a weed barrier and so forth. And then we started throwing compost on the top of it to create healthy lasagna garden soil. And then lastly, the book that we've also been kind of working through our way through is the Seasonal Planner, and this is got several tips and tricks to be working through over the winter. Different seasons have different tasks and everything, and we don't know what we don't know. And so, working through this book, we've spotted a couple of things that we need to be keeping our eyes on, and one of them is the land management piece of it. Taking time to get out and clip trees and things of that nature while you can still get to them. Like right now, everything's kind of, all the hardwoods are they don't have any leaves on them. There's no thick thickets to kind of wade your way through. You can kind of get in and see what you're doing. So we've got some woodchucking to do. No, not woodchucking. Woodchucking.
What would a woodchuck do?
Woodchuck wood. If you could. We've got some wood chipping to do. And so, anyway, a couple of resources that we've been using in our endeavors to learn more about this homesteading adventure that we're on. But that is the start of our garden. Well, there you have it. There, our seed starts have begun, and we got the lid on it. We've got the mat going. Man, we are ready to rock and roll. Now for the surprise. As God always does, man, he brings to life, right? And we have some seeds that have germinated. So let's take a look and see today. It'll actually be probably tomorrow when you see this. No, when I film this. It'll probably be tomorrow when I film this. Let's see what they look like. Let's do it. All right, so here is our seed update. We planted our seeds about 6 days ago. In the first 3 or 4 days, we had some significant germination of our tomato plants, beefsteak, Romas, and cherry tomatoes. And we even had some of the basil come up. And so now the rest of it is still in here. And the reason I've kind of separated it is one of the mistakes that I made. So there's 2 mistakes that I made this first time around. Number one is that we put all of our vegetables predominantly in one of these little, in these little incubation domes or germination domes. And so some things germinate in 3 days or 4 days. Other things don't germinate for 14 days. And so leaving the top on and all that good stuff after they've jumped out and sprouted, not a good idea. So we had to remove those. So if I had to do it over again, I think I would try to position those things that germinate around the same time in the same container and more evenly space out the germination schedules so that they're all germinating around the same time. The other thing that kind of jumped up and bit me was the fact that we had a snowstorm hit us. I don't know if you can tell out there, but like the rest of the country, we're all seeing some snow and ice, and I did not get out to get my grow light, and so I'm relying on good old nature over there to give me some good old sunshine to hit those new sprouts. But the rest of them are here underneath our little dome. And so we're going to let those continue to germinate, and hopefully we'll have a good germination rate. We'll see. If we don't have, then we'll plant more. We got seeds, we got time. So anyway, that's the update. Well, hey, there you have it. We've got some seeds popping up to the dirt. They have germinated, and they are, I'm hopefully going to see some nice growth out of them. I've got to get a grow light. That's the one thing that I don't have, that I got to make a run to get that thing put over the top of those little baby plants. Because I don't want them to get too leggy. We don't have a really good light source that we can put right down on top of them that I think would be good for them, where they're not going to get burned up, or they kind of sprout to get too leggy on us. So I got to go get a grow light. So that's my next search. And but while I'm doing that, I want to thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming along and watching our video and taking a little bit of time out of your day to see what's going on here at our place. And I just want to make sure that we wish you a very, very happy week, a very blessed week. And I hope you have a very dry, warm week where we are, 20 degrees outside and ice. So be safe. We will see ya.